What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Blitz Angle. My name is Ryan Linkletter. I'm here with Dan Loya. We got our Christmas week's predictions. Week 17 has massive playoff implications, and we're trying to make you guys some money. So we're going to provide you guys with our picks, some of our best props, and what we are looking at heading into each matchup with some major implications on the line, like we mentioned. All in all, though, Dan, let's talk about it here. We're going to start with the big games on Saturday. The Texans take on the Chargers. This game might score a combined 20 points between these teams. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, dude, this is really one of the tougher games to pick in this week for week 17. Houston comes in on a 7-game winning streak, but the Chargers, you can't really forget about them. They're winners of 7 of their last game. They're playing some pretty good ball, especially on the defensive side. You look at their latest games on the season. They have 17 interceptions. That's third in the NFL. Their last 6 games, they have at least one takeaway. They're playing extremely well. They're only giving up 20 points per game this year. They have 41 sacks, and they've held their opponents under 21 7 of the last 8 games. But I look on the other side of the ball, man. This Houston Texans defense, it's the best in the league. And against this banged up Chargers front that I feel like I talk about every week, this has to be the game that catches up to Justin Herbert, man. Herbert's special. He's an incredible player, but they have to block for this guy, man. He's taking a beating, and it might not get any better this week against Houston. So I'm going to take Houston. It's going to be a nail biter, so buckle up. But I'm going to take the Houston Texans to win this ball game.
I like Houston as well. I think the Texans might just have the Chargers number. That seems like every time these two teams face
All right.
off, a lot of people like the Chargers, but we just even saw it last postseason. The Texans defense is a lot to overcome, and it feels like CJ Stroud and Nico Collins elevate their play every time they play the Chargers. I don't think that the Texans offense is going to be consistent or move the ball, but they're in a much similar
Yeah.
situation to where they were when these teams faced off in the postseason last time. I do believe that as far as like Houston's case goes, like they just have the better defense. Like the Chargers, good defense. Texans, great defense. And they have the edge rushers that going against a weak offensive line. They are going to be able to get after Justin Herbert. And even in like the games that the Chargers are winning, last week was not a good example because the Cowboys defense without Quentin Williams is a joke. But like against the Chiefs the week before, like they really struggle to move the
Oh,
ball. And the Chiefs have a bad pass rush. Imagine the Texans pass rush going against this offensive line. You saw what Jacksonville did to this team a few weeks back. I don't think Houston has that type of offensive performance, but I think that their defense exploits this Chargers offense and holds them to without a touchdown in this one.
oh,
I do think Amari and Hampton has a solid game. I think Woody Marks under his hit. If those were two guys I'm targeting with my props, but I like the Texans 17 to 13. Let's go.
all right.
No, yeah, 17-13. We'll go around there.
I like
All
it.
right. Next matchup, Ravens versus Packers. Lamar Jackson is doubtful entering this game. Who are you going with, Dan?
I'm going with the home team, dude. It's tough. We don't know who's going to start for the Packers. Also, both quarterbacks, Jordan Love and Malik Willis, are questionable. So it's going to be both game time decision, for them. But I just look at Baltimore's defense. 27 plus points allowed 3 of the last 4 games. They're allowing over 250 pass yards 3 of the last 4 as well. Green Bay averages about 24 points per game, 222 pass yards per game. So I think they definitely have the advantage on that side of the ball. On the flip side, I like Green Bay's defense, even without Michael Parsons and their defensive tackle Wyatt. They're still playing some pretty good ball. They held the Bears to 6 points for what 56 minutes, 57 minutes, and then they kind of the gates open after that. So they're still pretty disciplined. Their defense plays really well at home, also. So I like Green Bay to bounce back, and there's definitely an opening. They clinched their playoff spot last week, but there's still an opening to win the division. They have to win out, and the Bears have to lose the next 2. So I think they would like to host the playoff game instead of going the road. So I think that motivates them here. So I'll take the Packers.
Yeah, I like the Packers as well. I think that the Lions being eliminated, the Packers really kind of just can put it in cruise control, but the division is still up for grabs, right? If the Bears lose out, they would finish with 6 wins. If the Packers win out, they'd finish with 5 losses, right? So I think with Green Bay, there still is a lot to play for in this one, and being at home is a significant advantage for this team. I do think Baltimore, while their defense has improved, there's still some holes, and I think Matt LaFleur navigating against a team without a pass rush is going to bode well for their matchup
Good
against the
point.
Baltimore Ravens. I know last week against Chicago they were inconsistent. Jordan Love, right? He's coming off a concussion, but I think that how they looked prior to the Jordan Love injury, and even with Malik Willis at quarterback, this offense is playing very well as of late. And I know Josh Jacobs is dealing with some injuries, but their ground game is still a large part of this offense. Baltimore side of things, like we've seen this offense with Lamar and without Lamar this year. It's just been a very inconsistent unit and just hasn't been very good. So give me the Green Bay Packers this week. I don't love the player props in this one, but one guy I do like on the Ravens is Zay Flowers, 32% target share against two high safeties. Green Bay runs that look a majority of the time. Expect Zay Flowers to have a good volume day in fantasy this week. All right, next matchup, Dan. We got the Bucks versus the Dolphins. You got a dog barking in the background. Who are you going with in this one?
Hey, it's perfect. Okay, it's perfect. Your dog's barking, and guess what? I'm taking the dog in this game. Okay, it's a sign. All right, you take the Dolphins this week. Okay, just like I gave the Vikings out on Christmas or our preview. This is the upset of the week. Miami Dolphins, dude. I don't trust the vibes in Tampa. They scored under 21 4 of the last 5 games. On the other hand, their defense has given up a lot of points. Man, they haven't looked good at all these last 7 weeks. And during that stretch, they gave up over 23 points per game. I think Miami's offense, the way to win this game is to run the rock. Okay, they're winning with in spite of Tua because they're running the football. I really think they could run all over this Tampa Bay team. Since week 10, the Tampa Bay has allowed 4 teams to rush over 100 yards. It's 3 games in a row that they allow these teams to go over 100. They can't stop the run right now. And Miami, who Mike McDaniel really knows how to dial up a run game. He's really good at that. Achan can go off. Wright could go off. Ali Gordon. I think that's where they had their success. So I like the Miami Dolphins to go off the upset in the Battle of Florida.
The Battle of Florida. The Battle of Florida. Listen, I was going back and forward on these picks right here between the Dolphins and the Bucks. One of the last games that I decided between in this matchup. I think as far as this one goes, I don't trust Quinn Ewers. I don't. I think I
Yeah, I
didn't
see.
I didn't like what I saw in his first outing. Saw a lot of
Mhm.
inconsistencies, didn't play well within that system, and this team got absolutely worked by the Bengals receiving corps last week. Like
Yeah.
the Buccaneers have as talented as a group, deep. Obviously, they don't have a Jamar Chase and T. Higgins combo, but Mike Evans, Emeka Egbuka, Chris Godwin, Jalen McMillan's about as good of a front four as it gets. Baker Mayfield, well, he's been bad as of late. 7 touchdowns, 6 interceptions over his last 6 games. This is a get right game for them. I don't think the NFC South is going to be decided right here and then with a loss, right, with the Miami Dolphins.
But
And I think we're going to have a Week 18 showdown. This is a game I would highly recommend staying away from just because the Bucks have been
yeah.
incredibly volatile this year. But I got the Bucks. I think it's going to be an ugly 24-20 win for them this
Oh,
week. The next game where I think it gets a little bit frisky, right? The Pittsburgh Steelers take on the Cleveland Browns this week. I think this is a matchup a lot of people are looking at saying, is this a game Pittsburgh drops, right? They're sitting pretty right now, Baltimore, right? Kind of facing elimination at this point. What are your thoughts?
yeah, I think everyone's believing that they could, man. Just weird stuff happens in Cleveland. You can't explain it. There's something about it, but it's a real thing. So you got to respect the Cleveland Browns whenever you play there. But I think Pittsburgh, I really like what I've seen. 3 straight wins. Their offense, the last 5 games, they put up 27 points in 4 of the last 5. No DK Metcalf. Let's see what the offense looks like without him. But I think the way it's looked, they really relied on their run game lately, and it's like quick RPO passes. So Steelers' run game has averaged 182 rush yards the last 2 games. So I'm really impressed. And you look on the other side, Cleveland, who to begin the year were one of the best teams against the run. They haven't been lately. Since week 14, they allowed over 490 rush yards during that span. So they haven't held a team under 100 since week 13. That's a long time. It's about a month now. So the way the Steelers are playing, I liked what I saw against Detroit on both sides of the ball, line of scrimmage, and I think Pittsburgh has a nice day again against a divisional rival, and I think they're going to win.
Yeah, and I think the Browns defense has been trending in the wrong direction over the last few weeks. Their run defense, which was once a dominant unit, has really
Yeah.
struggled. And a lot of people are being like, "Oh, the Browns at home, they always give the Steelers problems." Right? No DK Metcalf. Maybe we're gonna go Browns in this one. No, the combination of Jalen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell paired with how Aaron Rodgers has been playing will be just enough. And Shedeur Sanders, a lot of turnovers, a lot of sacks over the last few weeks. This offense, outside of Harold Fannin, has just been inconsistent. Now Quinshon Judkins is out with injury. The Browns are not winning this ball game. The Steelers are going to take care of business. I absolutely love betting on Harold Fannin, Kenneth Gainwell, Jalen Warren this week. They're all going to be smash bets. I think all of them
All
go
right.
over their prop totals this week. All of them will be in a good spot to take care of that. Let's get to a big game this week. The Seahawks take on the Panthers. What are your thoughts entering this matchup?
All right. So yeah, Seattle winners of 9 of their last 10. They're on a 5-game winning streak. Carolina, they find a way to win these ball games, but this is a different beast. Okay, there's definitely levels of the NFC. This is the very top cream of whatever the cream of the
Cream of the
crop.
crop. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever they say. Help me out here, man. So that's what it is. Seattle's the best team right now. They're number one seed for a reason. Mike McDonald, 13-2 on the road. Their defense is a different beast, man. And I don't see them running on this front, dude. Carolina's going to see this team. They're like, wow, they're big. They're hard to push around, and we can't run the ball. And we got to rely on Bryce Young to carry us, which he's definitely improved. But this is a different beast, like I said. So I'm going Seattle Seahawks, man. I think they make a statement, especially after 10 days rest. I think they make a statement against Carolina.
Carolina's been alternating win loss, win loss, win loss, win loss for basically the last 3
Oh,
months. They're gonna do it again
there
this
you
week
go.
with a loss because they got a win last week. And analysis wise, right, the Panthers' main source of offense in their games is their run offense, right? That
Hey,
hasn't been very good over the last few weeks. And Seattle comes in with one of the best run defenses in the NFL. So you're basically saying Bryce Young has to go against one of the best pass defenses as well in the NFL. And this guy can't even throw for 200 yards consistently in a game. Yeah, I'm good. Give me the Seattle Seahawks in this one. I know their offense might not be as good as some people hope for in this matchup, but they are just the better football team. And I don't trust this Panthers offense one bit entering this matchup. And like I said, it is going to come down to a week 18 showdown between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers. So we are looking forward to that. Should be a great one. All right, Dan, Philadelphia Eagles versus the Buffalo Bills. A lot of people are intrigued by this matchup. What are your thoughts entering this one?
yeah, dude. I put yeah. So Bills, man. Where do I start here? This is a tough game. I guess I went with the Bills here. Okay, the Bills are 6-1 at home this season. There's something different about home. It's their last. It's their last whatever season in Buffalo. So there's something special brewing there. I really think in that Bengals game they're getting dominated, and that they intercepted the ball twice in 2 plays.
Yep.
And I was like, hey, this is the ghost of Buffalo. So I think they have some extra help this year. There's something special going on there. So I like the Bills to win. I do not trust this Eagles offense. They scored 29 points back-to-back weeks. They played the Raiders and the Commanders. Nothing impressive there. Okay, so I really don't trust the Eagles against this defense who's really good in zone coverage under Sean McDermott. They have to run the football, which Barkley has been doing, but they played some pretty bad run defenses lately. So I really like the Bills, who are still have a little opening to win the division. I think they're going to show up and they're going to play well in front of their home fans. So, give me the Buffalo Bills at home.
I got the Bills as well. I think the Eagles, right, they're going to try to exploit the Bills' run defense, and I think they will do a great job of doing that. I think Saquon has a good game, right? The Eagles' offense has been much better over the last 2 weeks, which is encouraging for their playoff outlooks. And sure, they match up very well with Buffalo's offense, but the one thing they do struggle with is their run defense consistency. And James Cook has been basically unstoppable. And Buffalo's game plan is we're going to run the ball down your throat, and then Josh Allen's going to be our secondary option to win the game, which is about as good as it gets. James Cook is going to take over this game once again. I got Buffalo at home. They're going to beat the Eagles. And while the Eagles have shown signs of life the last 2 weeks, they've been against two bad teams. I think Philadelphia is going to lose this game. They're just not a great team this year. They have a great defense, but their offense is just not in a good spot. Give me the Buffalo Bills at home. All right, the Bears and the 49ers are facing off in San Francisco. Ton of playoff implications on the line in this game. Dan, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, this should be a great game. I think it should be a shootout, fun primetime matchup for everybody watching at home. But man, this is a tough game, man. It's a tough game to call. It could go either way, but I'm gonna go with 49ers, dude. I think my reasoning is, the Bears offense has scored under 25 points 3 of the last 4 games. They're gonna have to score more, and I think they will. The 49ers defense, they haven't looked good the last 2 games. They allowed over 24 back-to-back weeks. They can't get after the quarterback. They only have 18 sacks. That's last in the NFL. Myles Garrett has more sacks than this team, okay? Uh, but the difference here is this 49ers offense is on fire. It kind of reminds me of the Rams, offense that came into Thursday night. Uh, the last 2 games, 2 weeks ago, they recorded 430 total yards. Last week, 440. Dude, they're different. They're on fire, man. And, they scored 26 plus 6 of the last 7 games. We have to look out for Kittle's health. That's a pretty important factor. He hasn't practiced at all this week. So look out for that. But I just think this 49ers offense is going to be too much for this Bears team. And I really think that 49ers are gonna run the football against the Bears who struggle against the run. I think that's gonna be the difference, man. McCaffrey's gonna go off, Robinson's gonna go off. It's Shanahan's one of the kings at designing runs, and I think he's gonna have a lot of success. Who the 49ers they're still trying to get the 1 seed. There's still an opportunity here. They're gonna play really well at home, and, the Bears here, man, if they lose out, dude, they're gonna end up like the 7th seed. So this
Yep.
is a really big game, and I think the 49ers are gonna win it.
Listen, here's kind of where my thoughts are on this. Like, I think the 49ers are a good football team. Their offense is very hard to stop, but one of the ways they've been stopped this year has been turnovers from Brock Purdy specifically.
Yeah.
And you know what the Bears do best? They force team to make turnovers and bad decisions this
Yep.
year. It's just something about them this year that they're causing all these takeaways. I don't think they're a great defense by any means, but they're an okay defense that forces a ton of turnovers, which is
Yep.
exactly what you need. I think the 49ers are going to move the ball just fine, but I think the turnovers are going to be the biggest X factor in this one. Then I look at the other side of the ball. The Bears offense is going to meet the 49ers defense and have success. They're going to run the ball well.
Yep.
They're going to have a ton of passing stuff open because the 49ers can't rush the passer. We've seen this already this year. Caleb Williams plays his best and has his best games in the most favorable matchups. This week, it's no different. This is an easy matchup, the easiest Caleb has had in weeks. And I think Caleb Williams is going to be in for a monster performance. Also, another thing, too, the Bears have also played very well against the 49ers historically. This team always seems to match up well with the 49ers and play very well. I think the Chicago Bears are going to win this game and secure that division
Oh,
this week, which is
hey.
going to be very, very interesting for a lot of people out there. But yeah, give me the Chicago Bears in this one, taking down the San Francisco 49ers on the road. All right, let's get to some other games and some quick hits here with some less interesting ones. Jaguars versus Colts, Dan. Give your prediction for me. Can the Colts win a game here with Philip Rivers at the helm?
No, it's not gonna happen. Jacksonville 6-game win streak. Their offense is rolling. Trevor Lawrence is on fire. 12 TDs, 0 interceptions in his last 4 games. The offense overall has scored 25 plus in 8 straight games. And flip it over on the defense, man. Jacksonville 19 interceptions. That's second behind the Chicago Bears we just talked about. And I like this Jacksonville team. They definitely have a recipe for to be a real dangerous team in the playoffs. So I like them to get a win here on the road.
Colts defense is beyond cooked. They can't stop the run. They can't stop the pass. It's
Yeah.
it's going to be bad against an offense that's coming in on fire right now. And I know the Jaguars and the Colts historically typically split, but these are two teams trending in much different directions at this point. Give me the Jaguars to win this game. Next one, Cardinals versus Bengals. Give me the Bengals in this one. Are coming off of a 45-point performance. The Cardinals defense has just been inconsistently bad this entire year, and they have a ton of injuries on that side of the ball. I think that with T. Higgins healthy, this offense is just a different animal. Bengals are going to win this game. Give me the Bengals. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, dude, I agree with you. I think historically, I like looking back if they have any, if they played each other, Zach Taylor versus Jonathan Gannon, their defense. I was there in Arizona when Joe Burrow came to town, and they played the Cardinals a couple years ago. He threw for 309 yards and 4 touchdowns. Yeah, he was pretty impressive in that game. And, last game, what he put up 45 against the Dolphins. So this Bengals team is back. They're humming on offense. They were 6 for 6 in the red zone last week. Guess what? The Arizona Cardinals against the Falcons. They let the Falcons go 4 for 4 in the red zone last week. So I think that continues. It's a bad trend. Arizona has allowed 26 plus 6 of the last 7 games. They're not going to keep up with this team. So yeah, I like Cincinnati at home, dude.
All right, next game, Patriots versus Jets. The Patriots are going to absolutely steamroll the Jets in this one. I love Travion Henderson and Ramondre Stevenson props, whoever
Nice
winds up
back.
going as the running back. Hunter Henry also is a guy I take a look at. Jets have allowed the 8th most passing touchdowns to tight ends. Hunter Henry, a bunch of red zone targets this year. Expect him to get in the end zone. I got the Patriots. Milton Williams coming back is a big boost for that defense. Expect them to have a nice day defensively. Dan, how bad is this one going to be?
Yeah, dude. Patriots, whatever, by whatever they want, dude. I think the better question to ask is, do the Jets have a better chance to win, or will they finally record an interception? They haven't done that in quite a while, so I don't think either happens, and the Patriots win this game.
That is, there you go. All right, Saints versus Titans. The rookie quarterbacks are playing much better as of late. The Saints are the hotter team, though, and the better overall team. Kellen Moore has done a great job with what they have there. Tyler Shuck's playing great football, and they have an underrated defense going up against Tennessee. While I think Cam Ward has looked much better, he doesn't have the talent around him like the Saints do, which is kind of a crazy statement to say. But the Saints are taking this ball game, and I like
Yeah.
both quarterbacks to have a solid day. What are your thoughts, Dan?
Oh yeah, dude. I think the Saints are peaking right now. Surprisingly, you look at it, their offense scored 29 points. That's a season high last week. And then also, last week their defense they played extremely well. They had a season high 8 sacks. Their defense overall has held opponents under 21 points 5 of the last 6 games.
Yeah.
Both sides of the ball are playing really well for New Orleans, and so I like the Saints to win this game. I think the battle of rookie quarterbacks. I think Tyler Shuck will pull out a victory here.
100%. All right. Another one here, the Giants versus the Raiders, the toilet bowl game
Oh
of the
yeah.
week.
Oh, yeah,
Give me the
game of the
Las
week.
Vegas Raiders. You got the stadium over there in the background. Ashton Genty is starting to break out, have consistent performances here. I think that running game is going to beat this New York Giants team, who has a ton of injuries up front on the offensive line. Their defense is just bad. Give me the Raiders. The Raiders are going to win, but they're going to ruin their draft position.
Thanks, appreciate that. Yeah, dude, we can't have nice things over here at Raider Nation, man. I'll tell you that. It's game of the week here. That's what I put in my notes. Hey, both teams are on a 9-game losing streak. They should have put this on Saturday night, man. This is what the people want to see.
It
Uh,
is.
this is what I worry about is the Giants can't stop the run. They're 31st against the run. They allow a league worst 5.5 rush yards per play. Yeah, I think Asher Genty is just going to go off, similar to like the Bears game, and I think that's where they get most of their points. So yeah, I'm picking the Raiders too.
The Raiders, let's go. Raiders,
Oh
sweet.
man, the
All
Raiders
right,
go.
last one. Rams versus Falcons. This is the Rams get right game. They're going to have a great game offensively. Expect Puka Nakua to go off. This Falcons defense has just been bad. They actually played much better last week against the Cardinals, but this Rams offense is a different animal, and they're coming off a loss and basically a game they need to win if they want to try to still win that division and get the 1 seed. Give me the Rams in this one.
Yeah, so I think this game is going to be interesting. It's probably going to be really close at halftime because Raheem Morris is, they came up together. Raheem Morris, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, they're all buddies. They all know each other. They know each other's tricks. So I think this could be close until it's not. So I'm picking the Rams. You got to go with the Rams here, man. They're scrappy. Their offense is on a roll. They're first in the NFL, 30 points per game. They've recorded over 500 yards in 3 straight. During that span, they scored over 37 plus. This could be a shootout, but I think eventually the Falcons, they're not going to be able to keep up this Rams team they're just on fire right now. So and just like you said, man, Puka has recorded 160 receiving yards 3 games in a row, man. He's lighting it up, and Stafford's been awesome, man. He's the leading MVP, so I like the Rams to get a win on the road.
Yep, give me the Rams as well. All right. Appreciate y'all tuning into these week 17 predictions. Drop your hottest takes and your predictions down in the comment section below. Hit that subscribe button, and me and Dan will catch you guys next time.